The next-generation Russian submarine Sevastopol employs an advanced AI, activated by a two-pieced cruciform key. The AI deceives the crew into attacking a falsely hostile target, only to fire its own torpedo back on itself, sinking the ship and killing all aboard. IMF agent Ethan Hunt travels to the empty quarter of the Arabian desert to retrieve one half of the key from disavowed MI6 agent Ilse Faust, who carries a bounty from an unknown source. Ethan retrieves the half key and fakes Ilse's death. Back in Washington, D.C., Ethan infiltrates a U.S. intelligence community briefing for Director of National Intelligence Denlinger to discuss the rogue AI. Director Eugene Kittredge recounts how the entity has achieved sentience and can manipulate major defense, intelligence, and financial networks of the world at will. World powers compete to obtain the key to control the entity, though the exact means of controlling it are unknown. Revealing himself and exposing Kittredge's bounty on Ilse, Ethan states his intention to destroy the entity. Ethan and his IMF teammates Benji Dunn and Luther Stickle travel to Abu Dhabi International Airport to intercept the holder of the other half key, despite knowing they will be racing against all world powers, including the U.S. Ethan evades U.S. agents in pursuit of the holder, but the half key is unexpectedly stolen by Grace, a professional thief. Concurrently, Luther and Benji disarm a hoax nuclear device. Ethan suspects foul play after seeing Gabriel, a sadistic entity liaison with ties to Ethan's pre-IMF past. Aborting the mission, the team scatters while Grace escapes to Rome. Grace is apprehended upon arrival, where she is rescued by Ethan from local authorities, U.S. agents, and an entity operative named Paris. Grace again escapes, however Ethan rendezvous with Luther and Benji, and Ilse rejoins them, with Benji and Luther providing support. Ethan and Ilse follow Grace to Venice, where they infiltrate a party held by the arms dealer Alana Mitsopoulos, with the party masquerading as a brokerage set up by the entity. All groups disclose their role in acquiring the complete key. Grace had been hired by Alana to steal one half to combine with the other she possesses, which will be sold to her buyer the next day on the Orient Express. Through the entity, Gabriel proclaims that he will possess the key the following day regardless of any outcome, and that it has also determined either Ilse or Grace will die. Ethan unsuccessfully attempts to dissuade Alana from the sale, allowing Gabriel and Grace to walk free. Ethan pursues Grace, but the entity impersonates Benji and leads him into a fight with Paris, whom he subdues but spares her life. Meanwhile, Gabriel incapacitates Grace and kills Ilse, devastating Ethan. A remorseful Grace agrees to impersonate Alana and take back the key during the sale. Luther leaves for an off-grid location to investigate the traces of the entity in his hard drive, reminding Ethan to spare Gabriel for information. Despite his declaration of vengeance for Ilse's death, on the train, Gabriel kills the engine crew and destroys the throttle and brake. With Paris, he meets Denlinger, who divulges information only he knows in an attempt to form an alliance between himself and the entity, originally an advanced cyber weapon developed by the United States. The entity overperformed when it infiltrated the Sevastopol and subsequently went rogue. The complete key unlocks a chamber inside the vessel which contains the entity's source code, allowing it to be destroyed or controlled. Gabriel nevertheless kills Denlinger and attempts to kill Paris, who the entity has determined will betray them after Ethan spared her life in Venice. Impersonating Alana, Grace brings the key to the buyer, who is revealed to be Kittredge. She negotiates a $100 million sale and protection for herself, but ultimately decides against it, pickpockets the key from Kittredge, and flees. Ethan parachutes onto the train to save Grace from her pursuers, but Gabriel acquires the key. Ethan battles Gabriel atop the train, but he escapes and detonates a bridge ahead. Grace and Ethan detach the locomotive from the rest of the train, saving the passengers. Paris rescues both from falling, then tells Ethan the key's connection to the Sevastopol. Grace informs Kittredge of her intent to join the IMF. Ethan flees the wreckage by paraglider with the complete key. which he had taken during his fight with Gabriel, and rendezvous with Benji to continue the mission.